Hi guys, I'm Heather with heatherlavonjensen.com, and I'm reading aloud from When I Grow Up, I'm going to Have So Much Amnesia. Chapter 4, Trust and Belief Catalyze Change. Why did they locate the exam table in the doctor's office under the air conditioning duct? I shivered. The thin hospital gown was open in the back and offered no protection from the icy zephyrs that swept down from the ceiling to torment me. I scanned the opposite wall, hoping for a distraction. A rack of pamphlets promised to educate me on subjects from diabetes to AIDS, and health department posters revealed what ear infections and heart disease look like from the inside, enlightening and revolting me simultaneously. One poster featured a worried young woman with her hand on her protruding belly with the following tagline: ¿Usted está preparada para la posibilidad de tener depresión? Se puede tener depresión antes y después del parto. As I sounded it out with my middle school Spanish, I got the gist of this message. Pregnant ladies, prepare to get slapped upside the head. Depression is in the house. Noticeably lacking were any ideas on how to prevent the disease, how to identify the disease, how to prepare for the disease, how to recover from it, or how to cope with it. Like most of the posters placed in this office by the well-meaning people at the health department, it was long on awareness, but short on advice and assistance. It was useless. For 2 months, I'd tracked my moods in an effort to prove to the doctor that something measurable was wrong. The calendar pages clutched in my hands crinkled as I shifted my weight. It seemed to me that the patterns were clear, but my track record with doctors was poor. I didn't know how my new doctor would react. Would she be cross with me for trying to self-diagnose? Would she appreciate my methodical approach? Would she believe me? Or would she refuse to believe in anything she couldn't feel herself? At last the door opened and in bounced a human song sparrow. She was rotund, bright-eyed, and adorable, a petite brunette in a white lab coat at least 2 sizes too long. Hi, I'm Dr. Cadwell. It says here in my chart that you think you might have depression? Tell me what's going on. I was tongue-tied. There was too much to tell. I was scared this cheerful person would think my symptoms were just all in my head. Maybe she'd tell me to look on the bright side, tell me to turn my frown upside down. In the background of my mind, I heard a voice belt out an old children's song from primary. No one likes a frowny face, change it for a smile. I took a deep breath. I'm tired all the time and I'm always sad. It's been really bad since my son was born. I showed her my crumpled up chart. I explained my notes. My emotions were all there in black and white. I pointed out anxious days, crying days, short-tempered days, sleepy days, and all the sleepless nights. I think you're right, she told me, and her eyes were sympathetic. I was gobsmacked. She believes me. It sounds like you might have a whole bunch of different things going on, but definitely depression, maybe more than one kind. Then the floodgates opened, and before I could stop myself, it all came pouring out. The irrational fear episodes, like the time I fled from my grocery cart, the way I ached every day, as though I was going through life inside a plastic garbage bag weighed down with lead, the way things always looked overwhelming, the guilt that smothered me and colored everything I did, despite the fact I hadn't done anything wrong, the self-disgust that slapped me down and kept me miserable. Every day I forced myself to get up and take care of my baby and the girls. I don't have interest in anything. I don't have any motivation. I feel worthless, like I'm a piece of trash, and I feel like my family would be better off without me. I actually broke down and cried. Maybe because being believed was such a huge load off my mind. Maybe because her eyes were just so kind. Do you feel like you might harm yourself? She asked. My brow furrowed in frustration. Why does everyone always assume that? No, of course not. Well, if you do feel that way, you need to let me know right away, okay? Promise? Depression is nothing to fool around with. I promise, but that's not why I'm here. Dr. Caldwell said she thought there was more going on than the baby blues. Maybe panic attacks, maybe something more serious like major depression, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, seasonal affective disorder, maybe all of them together. She said I needed a specialist and a real diagnosis. At last I agreed she could call a psychiatrist and make an appointment for me. She squeezed my hand and told me to call her office if I needed anything, and wrote me a script for Zoloft to get me through in the interim. I was very suspicious of the Zoloft. I promised to try to take it anyway. For the next few weeks, I balanced on the edge of canceling that appointment. I didn't want to see a psychiatrist. I didn't trust them. The self-reliant rural culture in which I was raised viewed the entire profession as suspect, suitable for people too weak to handle their own problems. The only person in my family who'd visited a psychiatrist was my mother. She went to him for years, and in my opinion, he never did anything but listen to her and help her stay exactly the same. I'd hoped at first that shrink of hers would help her gain some self-respect, maybe help her heal enough to stand up to my father. But no. So what good could come from a visit to a psychiatrist? The Zoloft did seem to help. I didn't feel great, but I did feel better. I could get up and make breakfast and lunch for the children before school without feeling like I was dragging a ball and a chain. Okay guys, I'll see you next chapter. Remember, if you want to read ahead, look down below in the description. I've got a read faster code for you guys, so you can get 50% off the ebook at www.heatherlavonjensen.com. See you next time.